Here Now is the program for the millennials that will showcase young professionals' worth, aspirations, and successes in doing what they believe is right, progressive, and inclusive. Join them as they discover the path to self and societal fulfillment while making a difference. Hosted by empowered and cool millennial Erika Mison, together with her fellow millennials, they will be making a difference.
Good afternoon, everyone. You are now tuned in to Making a Difference. So this is a show created to inspire and motivate the youth of today. I am your host and online friend, Erika Mison. So last week, I interviewed a youth organization called Young Filipino Advocates of Critical Thinking. Yeah, that's right. Or YFACT PH. So they promote responsible use of social media. Now, if you missed out on that episode, don't worry because we have it on Facebook. We have it on the show's Facebook page, and we also have it on V81's Facebook page. So you can check that out later. It was actually an interesting discussion. Of course, we got to talk to them about their organization, what they do, how they started, and they even told us how they encourage the youth to make their social media platforms or their accounts an outlet for intelligent discussions. So again, don't forget to check it out. And just a reminder for my viewers today, it is not just our legal, but it is also our moral obligation to, be responsible on our social media content. So I hope my viewers keep that in mind. Now, today, I actually invited more youth organizations. They actually started because of the pandemic. So we'll find out the people behind these organizations, and we'll get to know what they do exactly to help out during this time. So let's get started. First organization that I'll be talking to is Tiny Helpers PH, and with me is Jean Bactat and Erika Garcia. Can we have them on screen? There we go. Erika Garcia, Erika. And we also have Jean Bactat with us today.
Hi.
Ladies, how are you?
We're good. Having us.
All right. No problem. Thank you also for coming on the show. So before we get to know more about Tiny Helpers PH, maybe you can tell us something about yourselves, where you graduated, if you've already graduated now, or if you're working. Maybe you can give us a little background on.
Okay. So I graduated last year from Ateneo de Manila University with a psych course, AP Psychology. After graduation, I took a job as a program specialist in Autism Partnership. It's a behavioral therapy center for children with autism. But early on this year, I started helping with my parents. We're in the garments line industry,
Okay. How about you, Erika?
Hi, so I graduated last year, October, from De La Salle University. I took up management and financial institutions. Mm-hmm. And then right after graduation, I started teaching Mandarin, and then I ended up loving it. So until now, I'm still teaching. And then I also started my own clothing line. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's really cool. Are you guys friends? Sorry, I forgot to ask.
We're best friends.
Okay. I love it. That's really cute. Okay. All right. So, tell us something about Tiny Helpers PH. Maybe you can give us also a brief background on the organization.
So initially, we're 4 friends. Then when we kind of discussed on what we want to do during this pandemic, all we have in mind is we really do want to help. And this is accompanied by the belief that no act of kindness is too small. So putting these two together, we didn't really want to put a cap on the initiative that we're gonna create. So we created Tiny Helpers as an avenue for people to take necessary actions according to what our country needs or will be needing in the future. So it's not only for COVID-19. So we believe kasi all actions can ultimately and collectively make a big difference in our society. Because as much as we want to extend our help and as much as we want to give opportunities for people to help, we want to empower them and also remind them that no act of kindness, no matter how small you think it is, it's not really small because it could really ripple into something great. Yeah. Hi, Erika.
Okay, sorry, I'm having issues with my connection, but I heard you, and I hope the viewers heard you also. Okay, so all right, going back to Tiny Helpers PH. Okay, so how many are you in Tiny Helpers PH?
There's 4 of us.
Okay, 4. All right, and all 4 of you are friends, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, what have you been doing now for Tiny Helpers?
Okay, so for Tiny Helpers, at first we were only planning to focus on donating to 2 hospitals and a clinic, because that's why we started. Because one of our friends actually brought up the idea of starting this organization, and it was because she knew some friends who were also frontliners who needed extra PPEs in their hospitals. So, of course, we were all willing to help. So we started planning, and then we acted right away because we really saw like the need. So we started preparing everything, and then we started gathering the donations. And then after just a day, we reached 100,000. So it was very overwhelming. So after that, we decided to add more beneficiaries. So we extended help to 3,000 delivery riders. So we partnered with Grab and Food Panda to give out face masks. And then we also, there were also a lot of articles during that time about garbage collectors. They were like saying that they were also frontliners. So they deserve to get help also. So of course we had to keep that in mind. So what we did, we also gave donations to 380 garbage collectors and street sweepers from Payatas. And then of course, providing PPEs to 2 hospitals and a clinic. So that's our first wave. And then of course, we still kept on getting more and more donations. So that's why we decided to move on to our second wave.
So sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, kasi to expound more on the second wave, we really saw the generosity of the people. What Erika said, like God really provided, especially during time at like this. We're just really amazed with how people came together. Kasi aside from the internal targets that we set, like the target amount, target number of beneficiaries, and even if we were planning really to accept in-kind donations, we didn't really take into account that at the beginning because it's hard to assume and plan to a lot like that at the beginning if we assume them will have certain amount of in-kind donations. So, but people kept giving, and by the end of both phases, people started reaching out also, like people na may kakilala or other beneficiaries themselves reached out to us. And by the end of both phases, we were able to reach around 500,000 pesos in less than a month and other in-kind donations. So we were able to reach around 3,000 delivery riders, around 400 garbage collectors and sweepers, 350 families, and 10 hospitals. So currently, we're consolidating what we have left. And so far, we think we can make around 100 more relief packs that can provide for around 100 medium-sized family. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you've raised now, and it's on the screen. Sorry, I forgot to ask you. When did you start?
We started April 2.
April 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So there we can see in the. Do we have other photos to show? So yeah, we do. Okay, there. So this is what you've. So this is what you've donated so
Yeah.
far, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
far. So we have some left that we're like, looking for a community that we can donate it to.
Oh, okay. So for the viewers out there, if you know of any community that these girls could donate to, feel free to comment down below or send them a message because you still have supplies. Now, what do you have? Pa?
Relief packs for community, like
Okay.
food, yeah, rice.
Okay. So again, yes, if you have any suggestions to the viewers out there, comment down below or you can send them a message. They're Tiny Helpers PH. All right. So these are some photos, no, that you've donated to. Okay. No amount of help. Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing the photos. But yeah, you girls, really good idea, and I totally agree that whatever help you can give, that's already, no, that's already something big. So it's really nice to hear from you girls, and I hope that you really still continue this. I'll talk to you girls again later. We have a few more organizations to interview, but again, thank you so much for talking about Tiny Helpers PH. Okay, so there you go. That's the first organization for today. We are gonna go on break, but don't leave just yet. We have another segment after the break. We have around 3 more organizations to talk to. So we'll be right back after these few announcements.
We'll be back shortly, making a difference. Only here on V81 Radio, South Manila.